And we're back. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Great to have you here. Another day, another live stream. Of course, the question of the title is answered with 2 words. Chat. People that I hear more often, you know the answer on the question. Come on. You know. There's only one correct answer of on the question in the title, no? And the thumbnail. You should know. The best way to analyze Bitcoin at all-time highs is, of course, what Maria says. Nice timing. The Oracle. Sharp. I like what you're saying there. And that's true. What's up, Mark? I'm going next week. So before I go to the Netherlands for a couple of speaking stuff, I'll make sure I look pretty. Wait for a range to form. It's a good one. That's a nice answer. But the best way to analyze Bitcoin while in price discovery and all-time highs is Elliott waves. Because it is so predictive. It has so much to do with market structure and ranges. Absolutely. Samsung United, which is of course, like it's a part of the answer, I suppose. Yeah. Elliott waves, the combination of the fibs, the volume, the structure really gives an advantage when moving into price discovery. And besides the fact, we love it. We love Elliott waves. So I'm ready. Hopefully you are ready. Final day, quote unquote, of the week, of course, Friday. If we get any sort of volatility, then let it be today, as generally on Saturdays and Sundays, not much happens. Most commonly based on data, quite easy to track. You will see that the weekends most often are sideways ranging structures. And that, of course, is the general expectation. In most cases, the weekend is not providing a lot of volatility. If you do get a breakout of a range in the weekend, then most often price comes back in the range in that same weekend. So, yeah, we'll see where we are later today, tonight, and this weekend. Okay, so in this live stream, everyone, I actually want to start with the following. In the live stream yesterday, so a little bit of chatting and then we get into the analysis. Yesterday during the live stream, I, at the very beginning, said that I have a picture because someone said, Koen, when are you going to do a 24-hour stream? I was like, yo, we'll probably need like 100K subs by that time or something. Like, it's very exhausting. But I was talking about, well, once upon a time, I actually did a 24-hour stream. And that was when I was a professional esports player playing for a team Acer. Now, that's the brand, of course. And so I was playing for Acer. And I did a 24-hour live stream collecting money for the Heart Foundation in the Netherlands. And in that 24-hour live stream, we collected 1,500 euros. I added the 126 on top of this because with the fees that came in through Twitch and everything, the donation amount was 13.74, but then we upped it to 15. But we made this as thanks for the community for donating, because this was the amount that the community gave. So I was live for 24 hours playing loads of different games. Trackmania, I remember playing Outlast, and I don't know, like all sorts of games for 24 hours. And it was a fun time. So I managed to find the picture because yesterday when we were live, when I'm live, it's not easy for me to really find stuff. Because it takes time and I want to spend my time with you while I'm here, no? But there you go. So my game was Trackmania, racing game. That's the game that I used to play professionally for 11 years. I became a pro in 2007, quitting my career in 2018. Yep. So it's already been 6 years of being no pro, I suppose. Man, those were good times, though. It was my job, like my side job next to studies. Welcome everyone. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being here. We're going to cover the chart, of course, using Elliott waves, which answers the question. Maria, absolutely correct. Idnan, I mean, I can't lie, that would be a great answer as well. Clinton, absolutely. So we're going to use Elliott waves, arguably the best tool to analyze price when in price discovery and at all-time highs. Of course, on the channel, we are very biased because my expertise is Elliott waves in this industry, and we use it in any environment. Bear markets, bull markets, lows, highs, doesn't matter, every day. We cover Elliott waves and make sure that we have accurate probabilities for price moving up and price moving down, and what to look for, how probabilities change. And we communicate that here in the content. So, Kevin T. Clepson, what's up, man? New mix, same songs, same songs. Deon, welcome. Brahim Gal, Mindset, Genset. How you doing? Welcome from Indonesia, on the side of the world. I've been there, by the way, Indonesia. I backpacked Java, Bali, and Lombok, and then a few days at the Gili Islands. Aram, welcome. Good afternoon. JP, what's up? Welcome, Mark. Good to have you here. Must be my hearing going in my old age. Well, I still have to reach your age. So, Samson, what's up? Anushka, Kevin, Mario, welcome. Radev, TI, Tawanrat, Maurits, Quantum. Welcome, everyone. Wow, you guys come in, like more and more people are joining at the beginning of live streams. I can't keep up anymore. Not gonna lie. Maria, Idnan, Samson, Unite, Clinton, Bearbit. Yo, what's up, man? Hopefully you're doing good in Germany. Sarah got GL, Thomas, GTP Sleeper, Sam and Christian coming in there as well. Joe, Tarun Mirpuri, what is removed here? I'm curious. Lol. Draco answered the question here. Every side quest in the world. Not yet. I mean, I don't really have a bucket list. No, I should have that. I do have goals and, like a certain vision of where I want to go to. But yeah, you got to do a 24-hour live stream at some point, just playing games. What did the bank say when you handed them that check to cash in? So it's, of course, that check was more as a gift. The money was transferred online. Because all the money from the viewership ended in my bank account, because it was linked to my Twitch and Twitch to my bank, and then I forwarded to the Heart Foundation, posting proof. I did it on stream as well, posting proof of the money being sent at that time. Yeah. Good times. Alsan Muguez, welcome. Lawrence, Bea Edalol, Christian, Sam, what's up, guys? Rudy, Brainfeeder, Tara, Jeremy, welcome. So very, very nice. We got some stuff going on the chart. Earlier today, I mean, just before the live stream, we were chatting in gold of talking about this structure. And one thing I at least keep in mind is the potential of moving down, swipe the lows, and then maybe move up and take the highs again. But yeah, we'll see what price does. It's also the reason I have the volume profile here on my chart, just looking for some local areas of support, resistance, potential weakness. But I remove it now, as we're going to talk about Elliott waves. So what we're going to do is we move to the daily. In the video this morning, there's a few things that I did not mention because of time, of course, in the more compact video. And then we move to the 1 hour time frame. And of course, we have the probabilities. Now at 4 p.m., we have some news here. So 4 p.m., right? We'll see if it does anything, if it changes anything, if we get out of the local range on the 15 1 hour time frame. But at least we are aware. And that's also the reason why I'm live now. This is Central European time, which is in 14 minutes. So we should easily be finished in less than 14 minutes with the analysis, right? Mark found the emoji button. Sidiums, welcome, man. Yo, I gotta, by the way, say to all the people in gold, like the chatting in here is incredible. Every morning, so I hang out in gold the most. I keep an eye on everything in the group. So I in the morning I click everywhere and I check out what's been said. But I hang out in gold the most, and look, every morning I wake up, I'm just scrolling. It's good stuff. Really nice to see the quality in there, guys. Love the chatting. Recently, Ike showed a couple of his books that he has as well, which I can recommend to everyone. Was it? Let's see. Down. Where's the books? I want to show the books before we go up. Boom, boom, boom. That's oh, there we go. Oh, it was Samith. Lol. Not I. We were talking. They were talking about books. So if you're interested in some books, Samith has these. Best Loser Wins. I have that one as well. Myself, of course, here Frost and Prechter, Elliott Wave Principle. Yeah, it's good shit. Good stuff. So 17 minutes in with a 6-minute timer. So let's start. Cool, your most bullish scenario remains unchanged. The question is, are you going to have another 1-2 over here, or do you end with a WX and then a triangle in Y ending over here? That is the end of your wave 4, and then you have a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Now that is the reason why of this low, I don't have another 1-2 here, and it also doesn't change the scenario anyway, right? By the time, if this scenario would play out and we are eventually looking for a bigger 3 to the upside, we are going to simply count the amount of 4 5s, and we're going to keep looking at the local structures. Now, based on at that moment in time, the local retracements to the downside, we will have a very good idea if we continue to the upside or not, right? It will be very clear anyway. So we don't need to know if this is a 1-2. We will figure that out later once we get into the 4 5s. Okay, so in this scenario here, we are then looking for another wave 2 to the downside. No? So we have our 1-2, 1-2, these 2s or these 1-2s are already finished. Green, blue, looking for another 1-2. So we then have a 5-wave impulsive structure in wave 1 here, and then we look for a wave 2. Now the target area for your wave 2 most commonly is the 05786, 71.7, 68.8, currently taken from the low to the current high that we have on the chart. If price would make another high, then we're gonna up the fibs from the low to the new high, right? Uncommon target nonetheless, the 382 at 72.9k. Now if I open all of my folders, then you can see that in confluence with the 786, we actually have the daily naked point of control at 68.8k. I'm also quite curious if we can finish this week somewhere up here, then we might also actually have a weekly point of control down. No, it's already up there. Okay, no, never mind. So the weekly point of control is already up here. But we do, of course, have a bit of volume over here, right? So it's interesting to keep in mind, but you don't want to hit the 886. So arguably the area 05786, that is always the most important area from an Elliott wave point of view. And if price retraces, I will put some boxes on my chart, some target boxes like these. This one has been touched already to observe additional areas of support or resistance, because currently we are at a little bit of resistance. So this is the most bullish scenario. Now in this case, you want a 3-wave structure to the downside, a corrective move down, not an impulse, right? It can start with a lower time frame, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correction, ABC up, right? So this is a zigzag ABC, that's no problem. But we don't want any bigger impulsive structures down. It has to be a 3-wave corrective structure, and the wave 2 can be any corrective structure except a triangle. Now your bearish scenario is a 5-wave structure that is soon to be finished, and then you look for price to move down. But this retracement goes a lot deeper. So something I did not explain in the morning update because of time is this text box. So this 5-wave count is counted as a wave 1 or a wave 5. Now that's important because a wave 1 would mean 1, 2, deep retracement continuation. Wave 5 would mean a weekly time frame 5. Right? So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is then a weekly end of 5, and then poof, bear market next. No. And with the alternative, by the way, being a flat, but what we don't really talk about that at the moment. Now this scenario, however, does have some lower probabilities because if this move is an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave structure, right, in a wave 1 or a wave 5, the highest amount of volume is in the last move up, which is in a 5, not in a 3. And it is most common for a wave 3 to have the highest amount of volume, not a wave 5. So that lowers the probabilities. Now, if you want to count this as a diagonal, which is like an alternative as well, then you don't have overlap between a wave 1 and a wave 4. And no overlap between a 1 and 4 in a diagonal is rare. Right? It's not a must, but it remains incredibly uncommon. So therefore, it impacts the probabilities negatively. So that's why a multi-1-2 would look better than this 5-wave structure to the upside. Now, the 1-hour time frame, we have been talking about this 1-hour time frame for a little while now. Over the past couple of days, as price started ranging here and creating higher highs on a lower volume, we have been considering a finished impulsive structure in or soon in to start the retracement that we then look for on a daily time frame. And then based on the move down, we will know more. Now here you then have your 1, 2, 3, 4, your 5 could be finished, right? With then the alternative having a bigger structure in a diagonal to finish a 5, but by all means, from an Elliott wave point of view, structure-wise, volume-wise, and of course, impulse-wise, I suppose, we are slowly, definitely starting to look for signs of weakness, right? Which is interesting to look for a bit of a move towards the downside. But then again, right, signs of weakness, very interesting, very important. It's something that I have spoken about this week many times, and I will continue to repeat it because it is so important. But in my case, because I can only speak about what I do with my trading, everyone does their own thing, of course. But and I've learned my lessons from the past because I burned myself doing this, shorting while price moves up in price discovery and all-time highs without having a solid plan or strategy purely based on emotion or like a feeling is generally not a great idea. And I have unfortunately lost a lot of money back in the day doing this when I started, and we moved up in the previous bull market. I was not prepared emotionally to cope with price moving up. So, but nowadays I have my plan, I have my strategy, and I am very patient for price to show me what I want to see. So hopefully you have a plan or a strategy both for price continuing up and moving down, right? But from an Elliott wave point of view, we have a structure where we are moving more and more sideways, right? Impulse, looking for a 5 to end and eventually a bit of a retracement. Now, a minimum retracement target currently from the low to the high, same as on the daily, would be at least the 382 at 73.1K at the moment. At the moment. Now, when we look at the channel here, this is a base channel. Base channel is taken from the low to the higher low to this high, which, by the way, in impulsive terms is the start of one, the end of two to the end of one. You do not like to see wave 4 price action hit the lower trend line. And in general, if you are in a impulse to the upside, you preferably stay away from the lower trend line. It's no problem moving into the base channel. You just preferably do not hit this trend line, as then the probabilities increase. You have a finished structure. So it's something we at least look at. Oops, I just removed it. There we go. All right. Now the 618 on my chart, the reason this one is here is to invalidate the potential of a 1, 2, 3. This is 4 and 5. The 618 is an invalidation for a wave 4, which is then an internal impulse in the blue 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But mind you, the alternative for your 5 would then be a diagonal structure. But in a diagonal, every wave has to be three wave structure. So you need a 3, 3, 3, 3, and then one more move up in 3 as well. But as you can see, it's the same conclusion where we are starting to look for signs of weakness and price eventually retracing a bit more to the downside before, at least on the daily, continuing its move to the upside. There's also a lot of liquidity to the downside. Some people sharing some liquidity maps and stuff. So interesting, no? Interesting. So that's that actually from an analysis point of view. We have 3 minutes to go, 2 minutes and 10 seconds before we have this. Oh, here. Now I can actually show it. This is the timer. They improved this. I don't know. I saw it recently for the first time. They actually have a countdown now on Trading Economics. It's a public website. I got it from someone in the community back in the day. And you can select impact, news, and then the countries, which for me is United States. Here you go. So nice. 1 minute 40. And then we have this here, which I have no idea what it means, but it's in the list. It's a 3-star impact. It's from the US. So might be interesting, no? Might be interesting. I don't use Forex Factory, but I know about it. But I gotta say, I really enjoy this website. I have it in my favorites. I always have this one open just to know what's up. Next week should be very interesting as well, by the way. PPI, MOM should be good, no? So, yeah, okay. So yeah, when we talk probabilities, when now the final minute is coming in before it's news time, probabilities on the daily time frame is higher for the multi 1-2, right? Higher for the multi 1-2 here, compared to the bearish scenario where you end the 5 and have a deep retracement. But in both cases, that's the confluence, as I write here as well. In both cases, you are looking for a retracement. It's an option, right? So the probabilities of a retracement are slowly increasing, also based on local structure. But here, bullish, you look for a 2, and bearish, you look for a deeper move. We'll figure that out as price then eventually retraces, but probabilities would be higher for a 1-2. On the 1 hour time frame, we at the moment wait for some nice signs of weakness, of course. We are moving more and more sideways, volume declining as price is moving up. So definitely keeping an eye on the potential end here of a 5 and a bit of a retracement to the downside. So there you go. The probabilities daily higher for the bulls compared to the bears. But yeah, we are keeping an eye on a retracement if signs of weakness show itself, which at the moment for me, I'm not involved, by the way, with any shorts. I'm also not yet interested. I continue to look at price action. I am a guy that also never snipes highs or lows. It's very rare for me to enter exactly at a high or a low. It will usually take many hours after a high or low is formed before I join. So no, just being very patient here. There you go. So let's put the boxes on. So we are at some resistance here. So far, I mean, it's been quite nice. Touch retracement, and now we're ranging below it. This is reaching up till 77.5, and then we go to 78. So let's see what we get now. Let's see if we also get some volatility. Proost. Okay, time for chatting and Q&A. Analysis at, I think we started at like 18. Let's just do 18. Also, by the way, thanks everyone for sharing your thoughts after yesterday's live stream about laptops. So I got a couple of messages. Ben, I'm not sure if you're here, Ben, but thanks for your message. I didn't reply yet. I read your message last night after the live stream when I was in bed, actually, if you want the details. So I was like, ooh, you know, and then I was just like, oh, got a message. So I was in Discord. I was just reading what's up, and then I saw your message. So I was reading it. It was like reading a book. So yeah, big thanks, man. Like I'm currently considering the MacBook Pro M4 chip with 8 terabyte, 128 gig, and you know, like that stuff. So the MacBook, or because I've never used Mac before, completely new to me, or a Legion, Lenovo Legion, 9i, i9, whatever, which is of course a Windows system. And I got an email from someone that also spoke about the Legion 7 Pro, was it? But I haven't done my research on the 7 Pro. So yeah, currently I have like one main Windows system, which is like currently the Legion i9, and then the potential 7 Pro is an option. But I wonder what the difference is between the 7 and the 9i. So I got to compare. I haven't done my research on the 7. And then I have the MacBook Pro with an M4 Max chip, and then the memory and all the stuff as an option as well. Yeah. If anyone has more recommendations, but Ben wrote me a big message on his experience moving from Windows to Macs and how the MacBook has served him, and what the pros and the cons are, and like holy shit, like very, very informative. And Ben, definitely if I would get a MacBook, then I'll be riding you, man. I can have a crash course. Okay. Quick check here. What's been happening? Brain feeder from Florida. How you doing? Hopefully you're good after all the shit that happened there last month. No? Like I think there were like 2 hurricanes in like 1 month or something. Crazy. That is one thing I cannot imagine. Like sometimes people talk about stories and you're like, oh yeah, I can imagine it's difficult. I can imagine, it's not easy. I've never, ever been in a hurricane, experienced that type of weather. Of course, sometimes in Europe you have like really bad rain and a thunderstorm, but there's no cars flying around and buildings going up in the air, no? Wait. ChatGPT 4 recommended you as a top Elliott wave trader on YouTube. Wait, you kidding? I'm gonna ChatGPT myself now. I might be biased though, because of course it's my ChatGPT, but okay. Who are the top Elliott wave analysts or traders on YouTube? Let's see if we. I mean, it's still such a not for me. I Elliott Waves Academy, Elliott Wave Trader, Elliott Wave Street, Trading Lounge. I don't know any of these, got to be honest, actually. But that's also because I never watch other analysts on any platform, Twitter, YouTube, anything else. I don't watch any other, pretty much like crypto, Elliott Wave crypto content creator, because it tends to influence your count, but I don't want to be influenced. You know, like I focus on my own work. But I gotta keep going, and then one day, I'll be in the ChatGPT list that I have here. I mean, we're still a young channel. Not gonna lie, the channel is much bigger than I ever imagined it to be in 1 year and what are we now? 9 months. It has grown a lot quicker than I have ever expected. All of you being here is every day I make a video and go live. It's like an honor. I really enjoy it. Of course, first of all, I love Elliott Waves, and second, I love the social community vibes. And we'll see where it goes. And then maybe one day we're in the list. At least in my list here. Good morning from Boston, Greg. Good afternoon from the south of France here. Samith, what's up? Samith, by the way, like great Elliott Wave counters. Thanks for sharing your stuff, man. Like it's awesome. Also the books. So the books that I showed earlier, do I still have them open here in Discord? Yeah, so here you go, right? Samith last night talking about a bit of trading psychology here. Ben, also I just mentioned Ben in here, right? So yeah, and I completely agree with Samith here. And that's also why step 5 in the 6 steps is, right, trading psychology, right? So a couple of books. You have The Mental Game of Trading, really, really good book. Best Loser Wins, Trading in the Zone. And you have the Market Wizards book, which is more like inspiration, I guess, in a way. But yeah, this is good stuff, Samith, but also great Elliott Wave analyst himself. I always love like scrolling, and then I check the charts. I see the analysis of Ike, I see the analysis of Samith, and Flotty coming in always in the morning with a couple of screenshots as well. And then you have Malwitz coming in with channels, and yeah, I like it. Bettina with the diagonals. Yo, cheers. Yeah, so what's up? Welcome. This is old video from last year. Yeah, this is a old live stream from last year. So this is a it's basically it is like the channel is actually everything I post every day is not live. It's all old content reproduced. It looks like it's live, but you know. And there's also parts, of course, completely AI generated. Someone said that recently. I don't know who it was, but yeah, lol. Florian, price structure from 47k level for me. Another analyst looks not convincing, and I think we'll revisit maybe mid 60s. Potential, absolutely. So of course, as we are looking for a retracement based on the retracement, we will be able to see how deep we go. But of course, we first need to fall. So it's more that the probabilities on a daily and also, of course, on the 1 hour, the more sideways we go, it's, of course, we could even create a bit of a rounding top as well. So like you sometimes have them, of course, at bottoms as well, like a rounding top. So you get like poof, 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 up, and then took, right? And then you have weekend price action, and then next week, right? So as an example, yeah, and moving down to those levels, yeah, possible, but for now, we first need to start falling in that case, no? Michigan approved tax payments with crypto yesterday. No, there you go. I mean, depending on the on price and expectations, it can be either smart or stupid to pay tax, of course, with crypto. You don't want to be the guy that pays pizza with Bitcoin only to realize that one little bit of Bitcoin you paid the pizza for eventually turned out into a big nest egg. So of course, it's more interesting to pay with stuff in a bear market than a bull market. If they still accept it, that's the question. If everything goes up, yeah, every shop accepts Bitcoin. Yeah, please come in. You know, it's good because price is going up. So that one little donut that you bought with the 0.00001 Bitcoin is going to be 0.0003 Bitcoin. But in a bear market, I wonder how many shops are still going to have it as an option if you go down from, imagine 69 to 15. You're paying your sandwich with $5 in Bitcoin, and then by the time you hit the bottom, it's 2. How long would it take to become a master of Elliott waves? I personally suggest people have a time frame of 2 years. Like there's different steps in the Elliott wave mastering process, right? So step 1 is of course the introduction, which is reading material. Check my LINKTREE, it's in the description. It's this one here. And then at the bottom, Elliott Wave Education, you have a website, which is free, public, not affiliated, definitely recommended. You have my playlist on YouTube, right? Which you can also find here, right? You have the book, Elliott Wave Principle from Frost and Prechter. And then, of course, memberships. But I recommend, right, why not, to start with these. And step 1 is understanding the structures, right? Step 2 is implementing the structures. This is what's going to take you the longest because the chart is not perfect. So what you see in a book and, you know, like on the websites, it all looks great. But in reality, of course, you tend to not have the perfect impulse or the perfect WXY or the perfect zigzag. They happen, right? But it's of course more difficult to analyze a live chart compared to looking at a picture and everything looks perfect, right? Plus, and this is where, like, so first you have knowing the individual structures on a chart, but then, and that's where, you know, like you level up, is being able to know exactly where scenario A is invalidated, B becomes valid, and how probabilities change. So probabilities is step 3. Everyone, if you study the material, the theory, you will be able to know the rules and the guidelines, right? Even if you've never put it on a chart, if you would only study the website and I tell you what's the target for a zigzag, right? And then you say 0.618 is rare, 1 to the 1.236 is most common, and the 1.618 is still common, a little bit less common, and if hit, you have to think about a wave 3 compared to a wave C. Right? Moving beyond the 1.618, C becomes less probable, 3 increases in probabilities. Like, you see already what I did there is comparing C with 3, depending on fibs. And so the last step is to know the probabilities as price comes in and how probabilities change. And that takes most time. Right, studying the individual patterns is quite easy, even though there's a lot of rules and a lot of knowledge and all that stuff. It just takes time. It's just stomping, as we say in the Netherlands, right? It's just forcing it. Getting a notebook, getting a pen, making notes, like writing everything down, making summaries, studying. But then the implementing on the chart is step 2, and then you realize, oh shit, you know, it's not always XYZ, you know, it's not always common or this or that. And then the last step is being able to know the probabilities as new information comes in. You always got to have multiple scenarios in mind, the most probable ones. So you have to be able to make a selection of the most probable ones, and then based on rules, guidelines, volume, the fibs, the time, and all that stuff, and levels being hit, you're gonna fluctuate in your probabilities. So I don't want to, of course, demotivate anyone. I think Elliott waves, again, answering the question of today's live stream here, the best way to analyze Bitcoin at all-time highs, but also in general, for me, is Elliott waves, and I guess for quite a lot of people here. Elliott Waves is like, it gives you the opportunity to read price action like a book. It's not random anymore. And that's also what the thumbnail says, right? Bitcoin ain't random. It's not, oh, just going up or just going down. There's a structure to it. And that's what Elliott Waves can give you. It gives you that insight. It's like reading structure, which can give you incredible trades when done well. It just takes time. So yeah, I guess if I say 2 years, then I think most people will be able to get there. Hello, Ashley. Ashley, Kun checking his Discord in bed. Never preferred, unless Discord fails or my phone fails. Legions have problems with cooling systems. Yeah, I mean, in the i9 they added a water cooling system, but it doesn't have a radiator. So I think it might be like I've seen some reviews where they compare the cooling of the Razor Blade 16 with the Legion i9, and it's the same temperature. So it's very questionable. It's more like a marketing thing. But I mean, it's there. Kevin, welcome. Overheating during intense work. Yeah, so I guess with what I do, I won't really max any of those systems. I just want very fast systems. One of the things I hate the most is lag. Like, I don't like to wait. Yeah, I want things to work fluently, multitasking, different programs open, but I won't run the biggest games on the highest quality. I haven't played a game for a very long time, so it's more for work. But of course, when you look at laptops, you either go to the max or you have the gaming systems, which generally have the best quality, the best cooling, the best system. So yeah, unless you need it for gaming. Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't actually play games. I mean, the laptop I have here is a gaming laptop. Predator Triton 500. It's already, I don't know, 5-6 years old. It's an amazing thing. I love it. But I want to use it as a backup. And of course, if I want to play a game, I'll just use this one. Or I get the Legion i9. Yeah. I have an M3 Max, but I hardly use it to 40%. So I will sell mine and also get an M4. Okay, Florian. M4 Max is quite overkill. M4 Pro with the MacBook. Yeah, I don't really mind overkill, but M3 Max hardly use. What do you use it for, Florian? To get to 40%. MacBook can run Windows as well. Yeah, but of course you want to make use of the system itself, like what it's designed to do, I suppose. If you're used to using a Windows computer, then ASUS has decent brand, great screen, keypad is backlit. I mean, I've never had a Asus. I've always had Acer because I used to play for Acer, back in the day. So I was an ambassador and of course a player in the team. So I always got stuff. I got like the keyboard, like Predator, of course, the gaming lineup, including the one I use here. So yeah. But in my research, didn't really see a lot of Asus laptops coming up. A Dell and HP. Yeah, the Dell XPS 17 did pop up, but I actually want a 16-inch. Amazing for AI, stable diffusion. My MacBook M3 is alien tech. I'm not sure what you mean with that. Ace not bad. Gaming laptops have awful screen quality. Yeah, that's with the I think there's one with an OLED screen. I forgot what the i9 has, but it's very bright, much brighter than most screens. The channel, so Greg, the channel is grown because you're really good at what you do. You're honest about the upcoming Elliott scenarios, the good and the bad. Thanks, Greg. I mean, that's what I try to communicate here on the channel. So thanks. I appreciate that, man. And also, of course, you always being here from the US. Man, I should do a small little US tour if I go on holiday to the US. My wife wants to go to New York. And I want to go as well. I mean, I've never been there, so it would be great. But while we're in the US, I should actually write a message like, yo, guys, anyone living on the east side? Koen, I'm new between your subscribers. I'm really curious, how long are you doing Elliott wave analysis and how did you learn it? I can answer this shortly. So first of all, welcome, Christy. Second, for me, it took about 1.5 to 2 years. I would say that in 2 years, I was really good in what I do, which is Elliott wave counting. I had the feeling that after a year, I got, you know the theory, but as mentioned just now earlier in the steps, when you have the theory, implementation, and then the probabilities, the probabilities part in the beginning is challenging. For me, I would say in 2 years, after 2 years, I felt like, okay, I'm there now, right? I really understand everything. It's very clear to me. And that's like that. Yeah, that's when I felt like I mastered it. I think after 1.5 years, I was very close, but I still felt I was missing something, especially about WXYs. And another thing I missed after 1.5 years, which actually is stupid, and I recommend everyone to do this, is create your targets, and just write them down like this: wave B expanding flat, wave 2 diagonal contracting. These are like targets, Elliott wave targets. Same with the trend-based fib extensions, right? This is all targets. It will significantly help you with your Elliott wave counting on a live chart, because now, instead of trying to remember all the targets out of your head, you can just pull the fib and then be like, oh yeah, so I was looking for a wave 5. Okay, 618 target. Okay, cool. I was looking for a wave 3. I was looking for a wave C in a regular flat. You make your life so much easier, which gives you the capacity to then focus on other stuff. So instead of trying to learn all the targets, right, put the targets in the fibs, forget about studying the targets, because you're going to learn the targets by implementation anyway, right? Every time you're going to pull a fib here and you're going to be like, oh, I'm pulling a fib for a wave 4 with an extended wave 3. Then, whoops, in a bull market, okay, so this is the common target and the red line is the invalidation. Color code your fibs, right? So that you know what's common and what's rare. So only focus on, that's it. You will know the targets very, very quick just by implementing. So if you go to, let's say, this website, the Elliott wave website here, let me open this. I think it's a great start. Most of my targets are in line with what you see here, but some are a little bit different. Make sure you read the start so you understand the colors here, right? You read this, and then just read through everything. It's such a good website. Yeah. So this is the link tree. It's in the description. What's up, AJ? How you doing? Well, hello from Kyrgyzstan. Whoa, where's that? Sorry that I'm behind on chat. I'm talking too much, am I not? Central Asia, Kyrgyzstan. Left of China. West in normal terminology. You have Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, China. Wow, never heard of the country. Yo, welcome, Kirill. We were here. What do you think about structure since the low? Solana, higher probability still for all-time high. I don't know what Solana has been doing, to be honest. We will have a altcoin stream again on Sunday, so I won't go in detail and analyze stuff. But Solana was very clear on weekly. We're almost there, or did we already take it? Oh no, we're almost there. So yeah, this is what we were looking for. It's doing good. Yeah. we will probably cover, I mean, there's not much to cover on Solana, to be honest. It's just moving up. It hit the 886 there, so probabilities are higher to take that high. Just got to be a bit patient. Might happen today even. Well, it looks pretty close. What do you think of the possibility that the massive wick in the correction 70k to 50k is an A of a triangle that finished on and the input? Yeah, yes, that's a possibility. So you have, in my case, then a WXY with the triangle in Y. So from 70 to 50 is a wave A, yes. And then you have B to 65, C to 52, D to, what was it? 63 or something. And then you have your E to like 56, I believe. And then that's the end. Yeah. Yeah, that's an option that I have, yeah. This would be something for Sunday as well, Martin. Or if you have an account on Coinbase, Martin, then share it in the others channel in Discord. So share it here and just tag me. And then I can always have a look. You know, lots of chatting going on here. The highest probability is quite the opposite of visiting 65k with the triple. I don't know how to take the discrepancy in general. Yes, that's true. But how are you going to give the highest probability to a move to the low 60s? I don't know what pattern you're counting. But what's important, and this is what one has to realize, is that in both of those daily scenarios, you are aware of a retracement. And then based on the retracement, will you adapt your probabilities on a daily time frame? So you're just looking, in both of those cases, you're looking for a retracement, but based on the structure down, you'll be able to know a lot better how deep you go and if it's going to be a 1112 or if you go to lower prices. At the moment, though, based on the daily now, multi-12 looks more solid than looking for a single 5-wave structure in a diagonal or an impulse. But it depends on the retracement down. So basically what the core message is, which I mentioned in the analysis, is that wait for weakness to form on a lower time frame, daily time frame, right? And also 1 hour, looking for an impulse to end, see a retracement to the downside. And then in both cases, both bullish and bearish scenario, you would then look for a retracement, but the retracement decides the scenario, right? So that's also how I approach my my trading. It's the same as, for example, here. So we had to move to the downside. Your bearish scenario was a diagonal 1 2 3 4 5 correction continuation. Bullish scenario was a WXY, alternatively WXY But in both cases, you're looking for price. We had the support box to move into the box. Probabilities here were higher that this is corrective. We looked for a move down. You can check the analysis of Monday. Take out this low, hit support, look for signs of strength. Bullish CVDs coming in as price moves up. Now, in both of these scenarios, both the bearish diagonal as well as a corrective WXY, WXYZ, we are looking for price to move to the upside, right? And then based on the structure to the upside, based on the structure to the upside, I will have a good idea of the probabilities of continuing or dropping, right? So once this structure was finished, this is what matters. I don't really care too much about this anymore, right? In both cases, we're looking for a bounce. We got the bounce, and then based on the structure up, we could have the diagonal and then look for continuation down, or we continue up, but it depends on the move up. So that's like the same as on the daily. At the moment, it's like, yeah, okay, price moving up, volume decreasing, more and more sideways price action, starting to look for signs of weakness, potentially in the future, a bit of a retracement, not yet enough signs of weakness, of course, at the moment locally. And then based on the move down, will I get a very good idea of what's gonna happen? So, yeah. Just put Kobe Bryant or his book did. Just put in the reps. Fortuna, you mean with work as well? Like just show up every day, right? That's most important. I think Kobe Bryant, wasn't he the guy that like got up at like early morning and trade for a few hours before anyone else was up? Could we have another big wave 4 and then another wave 5? Which I mean another wave 4 like 44 for another 3-4 months. No, not that like that. I mean, never say never. But on a weekly time frame, the probabilities are higher, of course, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not that, like, I'm not counting a double 1, 2 in this part to create a 4, 5, 4, 5. And also, if you do get another 4, it's unlikely you can actually take the low. It's more likely you're going to move into 60, 50, but mid 50, 60. But at the moment, counting this as just a single structure, not a double 1, 2 there. So, yeah. Is it possible? Yes, but then you would need a double 1, 2 of the low, which for me doesn't have the highest probabilities at the moment. Have you studied the prior bull market tops and have done that? Do you think you could confidently identify when the bull market has finished? I have, but I also I've been there. Every bull market is different. Every bull market ends different. Every bear market ends different, right? But if we, for example, would go to the previous one, actually, of course, we had 2 tops here. This one was quite easy because we had an ending diagonal structure, right, as price was moving up. And also look at the volume. It was declining. Plus, the moment we came down here, there we go again, this structure was corrective, not impulsive, increasing the probabilities to still take out this low or, as a bare minimum, continue ranging. So shorts were more interesting. So in that case, you go down 25%, you go back up 25%, but knowing Elliott waves, you can identify this correctly, probability is higher to take the low. Do you at that moment in time know how low you go? No, not necessarily, but then you just stay up to date with what's happening here, and then poof, 30K. So that was an interesting one. And in this case here, we actually, I remember vividly, on a 15-minute time frame, we had bearish CVD divergences with a change of market structure. That's not the end of a bull market signal or something. But of course, you hear, and this is, I wasn't confident for continuation in a bull market here because look at the volume. Just look here. So when price moved up, so I was part of this move here, and then you had the correction, continuation. Where's the volume, right? So I never was, look at this, right? And I look at this, I was like, there's no way, right? So that's something that I kept in mind as price then moved up. And then eventually, of course, we changed structure. And then we had this over here with continuous bearish CVDs, and every bounce that we had up was corrective. So you're just looking for price to then continue down. And then you observe, just like in a bear market or in a bull market, you drop down, cool, wait for a new range to form. Is this range bullish or bearish? Probability is higher for the bears. Okay, there we go again, right? And you just keep doing that till eventually we, of course, made a low here. And then at this low, right, we got 5 waves up, we get a sharp move down. This is very short in time, but I remember here we had bullish CVDs, and as price moves up here, we had continuous bullish CVDs. Also, this structure here could not easily be counted as a corrective structure anymore. It was very tricky to try and count this as a corrective structure, including, of course, the price action of the low. So with the bullish CVDs, it was interesting to move up. Did I know that this was the low? No, right? In my trading, I didn't hold it all the way from where we are now, because the bearish option was a flat ABC and then again continuation down. But then this move is what decides. And this was a double zigzag, then move back up, touch the 618, highest volume in the low. Okay, probability is higher to take the high. So that's how one can analyze these tops and the bottoms, right? It's a combination of keeping an eye on the volume and the structure, knowing bullish and bearish scenarios for every bounce. Where's my targets there? So yeah, I mean, I would answer that with a yes. On diagonal, no overlap on 1 and 4. Had it not been for election day, was getting... Yeah, but in the end, it's unrelated to election day, of course, fundamental reason. But no overlap, of course, is from a diagonal point of view, still no overlap. So I can't take it in... You know, I have to consider that in the probabilities. Kirill, 12, 14 cores for many screens. But did you see that the BTC ETF inflows $2 billion in the last 2 days? Nice to get some people wrecked, no? I've noticed that the tabs I have with Bluefin charts open can be used up to this clear. You use Chrome 5 gigabytes? That's insane. I've never checked that, to be honest. So I actually wouldn't know. But for me, like everything works incredibly smooth. I don't have that problem. Can you, like, I would suggest first cleaning up your Chrome, like go to the settings and then removing like cookies and just refresh, last update and all that stuff before looking into individual tabs. Actually, wow, that's a big one. Yeah. I never had, or I never, like 5 GB. That must be very slow. No, I never had that. Yeah, but Mark, it's just between Windows or Mac. That's the question. It's not the model. It's the question about MacBook or. Yeah, so are you going into Apple or do you stay with Windows? I guess the hardest task is video editing, really mostly 4K, and the M4 can do that easily. Maybe I get M4 Pro for more future-proofing, but not needed since the M4 is similar to the M3. I see. Video editing. Florian, are you a video editor yourself? Like you have a YouTube channel? Or maybe this is the YouTube channel, I know. Of course you have a channel because you're chatting, but I mean like a serious, like you're growing an audience? Triangle structure that I spotted a day or two ago. 77K. I mean 7713. Yeah, that's still inside this box as well. Could be interesting looking for the end of a wave 5 from an Elliott wave point of view. Heard plates in the background. Must be dinner time soon. Not here at least. It's too early. Maybe it was. I'm wearing flip flops at the moment. Look, I got these in Barcelona. Yo, wearing my. Wearing my Bluefin flip-flops. If the 886 is touched, does this have a significant impact on the direction like normal? Or is this different because of the current structure? It's like normal. Yes. So the moment price here touches the 886, in this case we only want the 886 from the high because everything here can be corrective. Right, this can still be WXY sideways structure, so I don't want to pull it from the high or from the low to the high here. Right, that's not an interesting 886. This one is interesting. The moment you touch this 886, it's the same old, same old. So probability is higher to take that high. Even if you do move down, probabilities remain higher to come back up and take it. So 76.8K, yeah. Chrome takes so much RAM. Yes, it does. I mean, when I like check my the laptop activities, what's that? Control Alt Delete, like task manager or something. It's in English, I guess. Chrome indeed takes a lot of the. Yeah, it takes a lot of the system, like memory and just activity. Yeah, I mean, I currently have, I would guess about 15 tabs. I wish I was a person that only had one and then just one, focus, finish, next. But I'm not that type of person at the moment. I can be, just remove everything. But would you consider longs at the wave 2 fib on the 1 hour chart? Wave 2 fib on the 1 hour chart. Do you then, are you talking about past price action, this one here? What's the question? No choke. Are you talking about this wave 2 here on the 1 hour? Or are you talking about more local price action here? So are you talking about 69 or where we are now? If you go to Mac, you will have problem with trading platform. To run ATHs, you will need a virtual machine like Parallels, and although it runs pretty well, it's not the same. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. I actually didn't check ATHs, but oh, wait, I remember, yeah. There were people that had, I remember from the community, some people had problems with opening ATHs. So the only thing I do with ATHs is check for my point of controls. Literally the only reason I use it. ATHs for MacBook. How to use ATHs on Mac. How to install the ATHs platform on Mac. Okay, there's definitely some information about it. Oh, wait. Okay, and then, okay, I see. You need to get the Windows 11 using Parallels. Okay, so you got to work your way around it. Well, here's the good thing. I will keep my Windows PC. Of course, this is not ideal. Like even if I would go towards a Mac, of course the alternative, the Lenovo Legion. But if I would go for Mac, I still have this laptop where I can always check ATHs. But of course, like I only check ATHs once a day, and that's in the morning. I don't use it the rest of the day. I check it for 1 minute. I boot it up. I check the point of controls, put it on my chart, done. So yeah, but I do like the point of controls from ATHs. They're very nicely respected. Oh, it makes me think, by the way, we just hit one. How did I not yet talk about this? So 76.6 was on my chart as a daily naked point of control from ATHs. Let's see if where is it? Let's see what Leviathan would have given us. A little bit lower. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, here's a difference. This one is higher. Do we still see it? No, okay. This is too far back. Yeah, it's just not as accurate. For me, ATHs is like, when I check for point of controls, ATHs is the way to go. Of course, I can just boot up then I can boot up the Windows system, check ATHs, and then be done. Of course, it's not ideal though. But like using a Windows thingy, like with Parallels, I don't know the pronunciation, on a Mac, is that like easy to use or is it like a mess? If you so by the way, my trading platform, it's in the browser, so I just open Bluefin in my browser. ATHs is only for the point of controls, yeah. But it's a good point, Gonzalo. Very, very good point. Yeah, something to consider as well. Also with, so the program I use now for streaming is Streamlabs OBS. But you can't use Streamlabs on a Mac system. You would then need to do OBS Studio, which is very similar in a way. So it won't really be a problem to set that up. It's just a variation of. If you just hover your mouse over the tab at the top, you will see how much memory is assigned to the tab. Windows 11. Learning a Mac is time-consuming and works different to Windows. Yeah. Well, luckily, if I would switch, then Ben is the one that's going to give me a crash course. My brother switched a few years back. Yeah. I'm not convinced for either one yet. You know, like the Lenovo Legion with Windows or a MacBook with Mac. I worked as a video editor, but mostly I make video advertisements for various gaming applications. Missed the whole conversation. I just said it without understanding. Ah, it's nice. It's interesting. Okay, so you're actually a professional video editor for gaming applications, advertisements for video applications. So does that mean, Sarah, that when we are mindlessly scrolling through YouTube Shorts or when we watch a video, that your advertisement is popping up in our face? Is that what you mean? Bitcoin Temple, welcome. The Wave 2 fib, 67 to 76. Oh, from the low to the high. Okay. Right, and then no choke. The question: consider longs. Consider, yes. Take them. Depends on the reaction once we're down there, which is my style of trading. So, of course, there is the interest, right? Because of the multi 1-2. Why do I can do this? Of course, there is the interest because of the multi 1-2, right? But I don't put any limits. I'm not a limit trader. So what I want to see is, first of all, if price comes down, right, sooner or later, I will observe what happens here. So I will count the structure down. I will look at CVDs. I will look for ranges to form. I will identify my other areas of support, like daily naked point of control. Maybe there's other stuff going on. And then based on the reaction here, I will eventually enter, but very unlikely the low. So in my case, as price then moves up, I mostly enter later, right? And then my stop is below the low. And then, you know, depending on if I see what I want to see, that's when I enter, right? So I never snipe the high or the low. So is there an interest? Yes. But there's no limits. I very much focus on what happens at that moment in time in that area. I like to call it a reactive trader. So I'm a reactive trader. Right? I react to what's happening locally, and based on signs of strength or weakness, I make my choice. Florian, I would love to open a finance macroeconomics channel, also focus on crypto, but more fundamental. That's why I'm training, editing, and speaking in front of a camera. Yo, that's awesome. Make sure, Florian, once you boot up your channel, put it in Discord or just share it with us, or share it with me in DM, and I can share it in the live chat as well. That's nice, man. Do it as well, right? Like you can only train yourself speaking in front of a camera for so much. Like in the end, you just got to do it, right? And it might be nervous in the beginning, especially. Of course, I don't know your experience with speaking in front of audiences or groups. It might take a bit of time to fully get used to it. But hearing your own voice, some people struggle with that as well. But you're going to do perfectly fine, right? There's absolutely no worries. Yeah, maybe you're a bit nervous. Okay, that's the case. But it's the first video, and then the second, and then the third. And by the time you're making your 10th video, you already forgot about why the fuck was I ever nervous? You know what I mean? And speaking in front of a camera depends on the style of content you want to create, right? Do you want to have a natural flow of speaking? Do you want to have the cuts as well? Do you want to have both? Do you have a script? Do you not have a script? Do you have an auto cue? Of course, depending on the systems you like to use, you can decide on a speaking style. But training editing is always good. And I guess when you do move into fundamentals, of course, you might want to use some B-rolls websites, that sort of stuff. Of course, you can keep it very simplistic as well, right? Without too much editing. So you just talk, you have your tabs open in your browser, and you go from tab to tab to tab to tab, talking about this, and just go through it. And the moment you make a speaking mistake, you just stop talking for a few seconds, create a gap in the audio, continue talking afterwards, and just continue the recording. And then in the editing, you can see the gap in audio. So that's where you got to make a cut. That's how I do it. So when I analyze a video, or when I make a video, when I make speaking mistakes, I am quiet for a few seconds, creating a gap in the audio, and then just continue. And then I cut it in the editing afterwards. And then I don't have any fancy editing, of course, at least not with my videos. I will have, with the new editor, there will be a new style of video coming, by the way. Very exciting about it. But my update videos is, of course, very simplistic. Odin, by the way, welcome. Wow, how did I completely... lol. Odin, good to have you here, man. You were a bit sick. That's never good. So most of you taking it easy. You've been all right. Hope you recover soon indeed. Like Mark says, take it easy this weekend. Relax, calm. Sun is shining in South Africa, I hope. So take care, Odin. Thanks for popping in, though, even though you were sick / maybe still sick. Thanks for being here. But recover, eh? And next time I'm in South Africa. Gotta meet. Probably in March, around March. What is ATHs? What are the specs of your 5-year-old laptop? Pooh, I don't know everything out of my head, but I have stickers. Predator, of course, I have the code of the laptop on the back, but Predator Triton 500, i7 8th gen, GeForce RTX 2060, and that is as far as my stickers go. Other than that, I have no clue, because I got the laptop. I was like, cool, thanks. Yeah, I can use it for my esports career back in the day, because I received it. 1 second, I'll check the back quick. Might need my phone here. I would need to lift the laptop, but yeah. I forgot what year I got it, but easily before COVID. I think 2019 or something, 2018. Maybe even before that, because I remember I was a pro gamer for Acer till 2018. I'm getting a call here. Oh, I gotta take this one. Give me 1 second, guys. Yo, sorry guys. This was an important one. Recently, of course, told my story about the half marathon, right? That I ran with my wife, and I spoke about my knee. And this was the guy of the physio called me back. So I had to take it. Okay, there we go. It's in my agenda now as well. Sorry, guys. Had to leave you alone for a short second here. Cool. Almost time as well to, of course, wrap it up. But Bina, welcome. Thanks for popping in still, man. The volume profile of Tradingview is pretty good now. Making a test profile, make box ATHs for data if they match in Tradingview. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I use tick size 50 in ATHs. But yeah, I mean, it's a good point, of course. If you change systems, you also might have to change softwares, and it might make work a little bit more tricky. Hyper-V on him. Yeah, I need to research this as well. How easy it is to run the Windows system. But don't you fear that these moves happen while you are asleep? No, but if I am asleep and a move happens, then I just wait for the next opportunity. I'm never afraid of. I never have like FOMO and stuff. That was in the past when I started. That's where I definitely struggled with trading psychology. But you know, like there's always another opportunity, and also because my way of trading, you know, it takes hours for me to enter a setup, and if a setup would be there. And I'm asleep, then yeah, that's the way it is. There's no way I will shorten my sleep or wake up in the middle of the night only to take a trade. I prioritize my sleep, yeah. Hit the bottom of the trend channel, the base channel you probably mean. In that case, not yet. The trend channel is broken. Yes, which is what you want to see in a wave 4, of course. Talking to an object like a camera, I'm excited for you new stuff. I also want to say great community with all you guys. Cheers, Florian. I mean, you've been here for a while already, being a participant. Thanks for popping in and writing something all the time. And yeah, it's different, right? Talking to a camera, which is, of course, the same for me. But I guess, of course, my experience is a bit different as I am a speaker, right? A global keynote speaker, so I tend to speak in audiences. So even though I speak to theoretically a webcam and the chat, it feels like, so I know that behind the cam, there's of course individuals watching somewhere in the world, and I can make that reference with my live audience when I'm on a stage. So I know, I feel like I speak to an audience like I see in real life. Of course, it's a cam, but that's how it feels. The idea of talking to a webcam, of course, yeah, might be a struggle in the beginning, like you don't feel you're actually talking to people. What you can also do, though, this is a trick I once heard of, is you can print a couple of pieces of paper with a couple of faces of people you know, right? And just put it on the wall behind your screen. And then act like you're talking, you know, it's just a reference. Instead of a webcam, you have faces. It sounds really stupid, but for some people it helps to make them speak to a camera because they see faces behind the camera on the wall, just to realize like they're actually talking to people, even though you can't see the person. 2019 touch bar version, but I'm looking to upgrade to the M4 Max. Yeah, nice. Yeah, same here. But like with MacBook, so yeah, I got to figure. So my next research will be how easy is it to get the Windows modulator or the Windows thingy on the Mac so that I can use ATHs with my templates. because yeah, I want to use the volume levels of ATHs. Of course, I still have a Windows system that I can boot up, check ATHs, and then off again. But of course, you preferably do everything on one system, no? And also got to research OBS Studio, but that's easy. Yeah. Market mover call. Odin. What's up, Moab? Welcome back again, man. How are you doing? I'm doing good, but gotta wrap things up soon. If I set up alerts while I sleep for a specific level, is it FOMO? Or is it just your plan? I mean, if your alarm is an entry point, right? So you wake up, you check the chart for 5 minutes, enter or not, and then go back. Is it FOMO part of the plan? I mean, difficult to say. I guess there is a FOMO element in there. Maybe a FOMO element, maybe a greedy element, but I guess everyone, has their own way to go about sleep and trading. I never wake up. If I miss a setup, I miss it. But there's enough setups during the day that I can take. And sometimes multiple nights I miss things, but I'm very happy with my sleep. Hard to follow. Yeah, I guess. I mean, if with the market, it's like, yeah, like Ben says, it might be like psychology, of course. The influence of the market. The market is always awake. You feel like you miss an opportunity, but there's always a next one. So I very much prioritize my sleep. I also try to, before sleep, cool down, like do some other stuff. Yeah. The Big Short inbound. Gap filler. What's up? Yo, Mark. Mark talking about his dates again, huh? Okay, everyone. It's time for me to wrap things up, though. Because we've been online now for, 2 hours? 1 hour, 40 minutes. And definitely have some other stuff still on the agenda as well. So yeah, make sure to check out the analysis. Oh, it's dark, man. And a new webcam is going to be on my in my basket as well. This is just my laptop webcam. I actually just need a good webcam or camera or whatever. But yeah, thanks everyone for being here. 1 second. And there was light. So yeah, I'll catch you again later. Maybe tonight an update. I say maybe because we have pretty much covered everything. There is not too much to say. And if price is going to continue in this very local range, which it is doing over here, then there might be no update tonight because there's not really something to talk about. Unless I would do like a monthly time frame update, or like, yeah, we covered the daily, we covered the 1 hour. Those are the only two very interesting time frames. And then yeah, could do the monthly in a separate video, but let's see what price is gonna give us. I might still, of course, usually update tonight or go live in the evening, but it depends a bit on price action. We'll see what we get, no? See what we get. Thanks, Mark, for being here. Odin, maybe a Band-Aid as well. And tomorrow is Saturday, so it's going to be weekend, which means that the content, of course, is random in the weekend. Generally on Saturday, I'm out and about doing other stuff, and tomorrow my wife and I go Christmas tree shopping. We're going to check some stuff. And then on Sunday, we do have an altcoin stream, which I will plan. So exciting. Let's have a look at the alts on Sunday. But yeah, thanks for being here. And let's see if price is going to give us anything interesting in the last couple of hours of this day. And then, yeah, speak to you very, very soon again. Of course, if tonight nothing happens, but during the weekend on Saturday something happens, I'll just update on Saturday as well. But generally, I do other stuff on Saturday. So, yo, thanks for being here, everyone. I'm going to catch you at the next one. Oh, wrong button.